What is up? It is Sam here, and tonight we have a very special video. We're adding an 8th factor to our power rankings, and it's going to be called awareness. What we're trying to capture is what people are talking about and interested in America on the collective. So we used 3 different factors to come up with an awareness ranking and scoring, and that's the YouTube channel, the YouTube views associated with when you search with the candidate's name, the hashtag usage over a certain period of time on Twitter, and the number of posts that use that hashtag on Instagram, as well as the number of comments in the top 9 comments on Instagram. And let me just show you that in a moment. But first, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you that are returning, it's good to freaking see you. You'd better be pressing that thumbs up button. Let's dive into it. So this is what I did. Went over to YouTube. I searched Elizabeth Warren. Next time I do this, I'm going to do it in incognito mode. But what I did is I had 11 tabs open, and I searched all the candidates' names at the top. Then I went back through and refreshed all of them, made sure that they stayed in the RAM so that I could get the same kind of like time. There wasn't a time difference between me when I looked at the data to try to take that variable out of what could be impacting it. And then I just went through and added up the total views of videos that were published within the last 24 hours. And then on Twitter, what I did was I searched for the hashtag on Twitter, and then you go to the latest, and I just counted the total number of tweets that use that hashtag over the past hour. So you just scroll through and count them all up, and I put all this into a spreadsheet. And the last factor is Instagram. So I've been wanting to incorporate Instagram into these power rankings in some way or another for a while now. And so you do the same thing on Instagram, but you search for the hashtag, right? Say Andrew Yang in this case. We've got the total number of posts that have used that hashtag. So we look at that relative to all the other candidates. And then the last factor is these are the top posts on Instagram right here. And we added up the comments right here. You see how it's 13 comments on this one, 61 on this. So we did that for all 9 here for Andrew Yang. And then we did that for every single candidate. And I took all of that data and I put it into a spreadsheet and came up with this. So what we have here is Bernie Sanders is number 1 in awareness, measuring it this way. Joe Biden is number 2. Pete Buttigieg is number 3. Elizabeth Warren is number 4. And Andrew Yang is number 5, rounding out the top 5. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because that's kind of interesting that surprisingly Joe Biden has a lot more awareness than I would have expected based upon how he's doing on some of the other ranking factors within the power ranking. So that is kind of interesting how well he did. So what we did here is we put all the views of those videos, but we took out the Saturday Night Live ones because that was skewing the data because practically everybody had the Saturday Night Live video when you search for their name on YouTube, except for, I think, Tom Steyer and Julian Castro. So it really skewed the data. So I took that out. As you can see here up in the formula bar, minus 2.5 million, because that's how many views that video had. So that way it would be more apples to apples comparison. Sometimes you have to adjust the data. This was done at 4:57 p.m. today, and I just measured, as I mentioned, all of the hashtag usage within the last hour for each one of these candidates. Tulsi Gabbard ran away with this one. She was 4 ahead of Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders. So this one and this whole collective here, I think we can update probably on a weekly basis. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you use hashtag Stolt down below in the comment section, at the end of this video, I like to actually get into the comment section and talk about some of this stuff because there's tremendous gold in the comment section, and I like to glean some of that insight. Next was Instagram. And these are the total number of posts, right? So this is your search for the hashtag, the total number of posts. Bernie Sanders walks away with it easily, over 6 times greater than the next closest person, which is Joe Biden. So there's a fuckload of people who are using that hashtag. However, when you look at the total number of views on YouTube, Joe Biden has about double. This is not on their channel. Remember, we're looking the search term Joe Biden on YouTube. The top videos that were released within the videos that were released in the last 24 hours, and just adding up those views. So Joe Biden has about double what anybody else, more than double. You know what I mean? And then when we come over to Instagram, it's the opposite of that, but even to a greater magnitude, which is kind of interesting. Let's see what else. Cory Booker also does really well here. If you look over here in the comments, right? Andrew Yang only has 350 comments in the top 9 posts. Joe Biden and Cory Booker have about the same. And Amy, well, that's actually surprising how many comments Amy has. But check this out. Cory Booker, 4,600 comments. That's awesome. He's hopefully benefiting from that additional exposure, because if he wants to like stay in this race, he needs to step up his shit, because he's not ranking very well in any one of these factors that I do in the power rankings, or any of the other stuff. No offense to somebody if they support him, but he's just not when you look at the data. And he has a decent number of post usage. If you look up here at Pete and Andrew, which came in 5th and 3rd, he is not far behind. You know, he has 4,000 less in terms of the usage than them, so he's not far off. So I wonder if there's something building, and this is just the very early stages for Cory Booker, if something's happening, because he has a lot more comments. So I wonder if this is the beginning of something building, or if something just happened and there's a news that's about to come out. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to use the hashtag Stolt, and then we can come over here and we can get into your comments. So this is my YouTube analytics, and what I do is I go up here and I search for hashtag Stolt to pull up things like this. So this is from Max Payne. Awesome name, brother. I appreciate you leaving a comment. If you want your favorite candidate to win the White House, it's all about delegates. Watch this video to have an idea on how blah, blah, blah. So, yes, you have to get delegates. That is correct. I'm not concerned about that getting the delegates, but that is accurate. What we're trying to do is understand who the collective of America is actually interested in a more accurate way than what is currently done using polling data, where you might have 1,000 people and try to extrapolate what the interest is in the whole entire United States from 1,000 fucking people, like, versus millions of data points. What I'm looking at, that's what I'm trying to understand, where the actual interest is versus what polling data says. Because I think what we're doing here is way more accurate than polling data. But time will tell, right? Time will tell. Another one here from Max Payne. What's good, brother? I see that your first choice is Yang, but also, who is your second choice? Yang Tulsi supporters should make up their mind on second, because if their candidate cannot make up the minimum, maybe 15% threshold of voters, then they will have to pick a second candidate. So also pick a second choice, Yang and Tulsi supporters. So basically he thinks that probably you should have a number 1 and number 2 pick. I don't have any... I just want to try to understand what the collective of everybody who's watching this, the understand of Americans, what they are thinking about, because that's way more important to me than what the candidates are actually saying. So I don't pay attention to what they're saying to know who I would support. I'm just trying to understand what America thinks about what they're saying, because then I'll know what's going to happen, right? Because then I can just backward engineer into like, oh, America really supports this person, and then I can be like, okay, well, that's the person who's fucking gonna go get that nomination, and that's who I can research if I had any desire to research what they were actually talking about in terms of policies and whatnot. I don't pay attention to that at all whatsoever. But I do appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. Half-breed, what's good? I haven't seen your comment in a little while. Where the hell are the cancel culture crew when you need them? Haha. Cancel culture. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably a reference that I'm just not getting, and I apologize. Somebody can let me know down below in the comments, and I'll understand that. This is from Robert. Where is it? This is from Robert here. I'm not going to even try to say your last name. I appreciate the comment, though. Kovarubias. Thank you for the comment. Excellent analysis, Stoll. You are right on concerning Tulsi Gabbard. She will gaining ground. She getting attention. She will definitely gain. Besides, she extremely intelligent. She knows how to operate real data to her advantage. I don't know. It is super interesting. She does. In the last couple of the rankings that I did, I think on YouTube and Google, she was losing a little bit of ground. But I'm not sure, because in other areas it looks like she's moving up. So I haven't seen all the signals pointing in one direction at this moment. There's a lot of like volatility, which means that something's probably about to happen. I just don't know what. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section, and then we can talk about it next time we get it. Also, if you guys jump over to TikTok, that shit is exploding. Link in the description, or jump over to Instagram and say what's good. I appreciate you guys. Peace.